Alright guys, have you ever had plants that were doing really well and then maybe life got in the way and you forgot to care for them, you forgot to water them one too many times and you go to check on them and they're not doing so well? We've all been there, I've been there. I have plants right now that are, hopefully on the mend because life got in the way and I didn't take care of them and I'm paying the price. But that's not what this video is going to be. This video is going to be more optimistic. I want to share with you some success stories, some plants that were not doing well, that were, I thought, on the brink of death. And somehow or another they were able to bounce back, come back to life, and they surprised me. And now they are thriving. So let's get right into it. First one, oh my goodness, look at that, oh my God. This leaf is bigger than my torso, what the hell? Yeah. Guys, why are my plants in better shape than me? This is embarrassing. This is Magnificum crossed with luxuriance, Anthurium, in case you couldn't tell, but you probably knew that already. Yeah, that is just maniacally beautiful. I don't even know how else to describe it, guys. So basically what happened was, I kind of neglected it. It was an old reliable, it was one of those plants where I just kind of set it and forget it, and that's what I did, and it didn't like that. It only tolerated it for so much. It inevitably got dry rot. Dry rot is when the plant dries out just a little bit too much and the roots start to recede. They start to die back as the plant tries to reabsorb some of that energy. And usually what I find actually helps with a plant that has a little bit of dry rot kicking in and the leaves start to get a little bit crispy and it's just not looking too good. I find that, oddly enough, potting it, giving it a bigger pot actually helps it, because usually the problem is that it's drying out too fast. So when you have a bigger vessel, you don't really have to change your schedule too much. You just have to keep a closer eye on it for a little while as it adjusts. I just potted it into a wider vase. As you can see, this is a really wide vase and it is rooting beautifully. And it went from having no leaves. I mean, I cut off all the leaves. I mean, it had leaves, but they were all Doritos. And then it put out this beautiful one. Guys, look at, oh my goodness, that is amazing. I'm very, very happy to have this guy. I missed him. He was just a stump in my grow tent for the longest time. Guys, I have the hair pulled back today just because I can't keep messing with it the entire video. All right, next one right here, nice and easy. Okay. This right here is Anthurium veitchii, also known as the King Anthurium. I got this from, I think it was Tropicals. I think it was one of their live sales. And they sent this to me, so it was technically an import because Tropicals, it was their Ecuador location. I'm pretty sure they're in Ecuador. Because they're, right? Or is that just Ecuagenera? I don't know. Anyway, it was imported, so, And Anthuriums, they do pretty well when you import them, but, you still need to rehab them. You gotta know what you're doing. They still need some TLC. And this guy, he didn't have a lot of roots to work with, and he had lost a lot of leaves. He was a whole bush, and he had lost all the leaves. So what I did was I took his entire stem, and I just mounted him into my terrarium cabinet here, and the daily misting and high humidity encouraged him to sprout new roots, within a week. I was noticing new roots, which was awesome. I love this thing. I love how I can put things in here to rehab and then take them out when it's time. And when it was time, I took him out, I demounted him, I put him into this vase with moss, and he has been rooting in here beautifully ever since. And I've been experimenting growing a little bit of this Selaginella, this I think it's called peacock moss or whatever. It's not a real moss, guys, but it's, very, very pretty. And when it's in kind of medium to low light, it's like a beautiful rainbow color, like a beautiful bluish green with some rainbow iridescence. So it'd be really nice if it can kind of grow out, kind of cascade off the side. That'd be kind of nice, right? Right, people? Oh, and by the way, this is the first leaf it has put out since I got him. Looking beautiful. They're very slow growing veitchii, very, very slow growing. I won't expect one for another 2 to 3 months. But that's okay, guys, because they just sit, and as long as they're happy, they're just fine. You don't gotta worry about high humidity. You don't gotta worry about pests, really. You don't gotta worry about pampering. Their leaves almost never crisp, unlike some velvet leaf anthuriums where sometimes they're more prone to crisping. He doesn't get burnt by any of the salts in the water like some velvet leaves do. So he's just great. And he bounced back. And now he's looking mighty proud up there. All right, what's the next one? Oh, right here, right here. This is my Anthurium Ace of Spades. Sometimes they call it the green Ace of Spades. Here's the thing, guys. The dark form Ace of Spades, it's got some problem with it where like, there's this thing called ace pox. I'll put in a photo so you can see what I'm talking about. I'll put it here or there, I don't know. But you could see, because like there's something, I don't know if it was a TC botch or what, but when they mature, they get to a certain size, they start doing this ace pox thing. And they look really, really ugly. I don't know why people still want them because they're so freaking expensive, but they're prone to this genetic disease thing. It's just really, really gross. But the classic form, this guy doesn't do that. But basically, same thing happened, guys. I let it dry out a little bit too much. It got a little bit of dry rot. So what I did, guys, again, I up-potted it. I gave it a bigger pot. He took a while for him to really root into this. And then finally, after having like 2 or 3 really crappy looking leaves that I kept on just so he could photosynthesize, I put him in the grow tent where all the overflow, sad looking things are. And he put out this beautiful leaf a few weeks ago. And he's got a new leaf coming in right there. So I am very, very happy about this guy. He is great. He is just amazing. So I'll put you back there. All right, who's next? Who's next? Who's on the list? Who's on the list? Oh, a non-aeroid. Where are you? It's my only begonia. Well, I technically have a Rex begonia over there, but I never water that thing and it's probably gonna die. It's a filler plant, guys, I'm gonna be honest. I do have a couple of filler plants here and there. I really shouldn't because I'm very low on space, but I don't know. They're a dime a dozen. But this right here is not. This is Begonia Baik, B-A-I-K. I'm not really that into begonia, so I can't tell you a whole lot about it. But I will tell you that it does need high humidity, so it's probably a cloud forest species. It flowers like crazy. I mean, look at all these flowers. Flowers there, there, there. By the way, guys, I have like 2, 3 others that I'm propagating because this guy, I can just snip them and I can prop them. I sell them for, you know, way less than market value just so they sell really quickly. And people keep sliding into my DMs, you got any more left? I'm like, sorry, I only made a couple cuttings, but I'll make more and I'll post them on Facebook again soon. So, and they always ask me, oh, what other rare begonias do you have? I'm like, I'm sorry, I only have this one. This is the only rare begonia and also just begonia that I have. I mean, you know, again, I have the Rex, but the Rex is like the ZZ plants of begonias. The leaf itself is kind of brownish green, but it's the hairs, or maybe it's the back of the, you know what, it's the back of the leaf and the hairs that are red, not the front of the leaf. So it has this really weird look to it. It's totally out of focus, I'm so sorry. Can you guys see that better? Isn't this thing just so freaking cool? Unfortunately, yeah, it has to be in like a terrarium. I've tried to, I took it out just to see what would happen and it flopped over in like an hour. And it got a little bit crispy, but they grew really fast, so you know, it ain't no thing. I just keep it in here and then every now and again, I take a little piece off and I put it into a terrarium or I put it in a little prop box to root out and then eventually sell. I also have one in my terrarium in here. You can't really see because the grow lights have turned off, but I have one in there as well. Oh, by the way, guys, this went all the way down to a stump. I have this thing in here. It was chilling in here, and it was doing pretty well. It was like, kind of like around this area, and then I moved stuff around. I moved it over here. It was a little bit too dark, so it was not as red, and I was like, no, I want the red. So I moved it up here, and it was too bright, it was drying out too quickly. And it just kind of like went to a stump. I put him into his own little pot. I put the dome over him and I just put him under a really bright grow light and I was like, I'll see you on the other side. And sure enough, he made it to the other side. Well, he stayed on this side. He did not go to the other side. That's what I meant to say. So yeah, there he is, Begonia Bike. Let's put you back into that high humidity because I'm sure you're huffing and puffing right now like, what is this 27% humidity? And finally, guys, let me zoom you out. Oh, that's not zooming out. And finally, guys, this one right here. This is my Clarinervium hybrid. I think I bought him as Clarinervium crossed with Pterodactyl. I bought him because he kind of reminded me of the Delta Force, which is a very expensive Anthurium for those of you who are unfamiliar. Beautiful bluish green. Definitely has the Clarinervium hybrid look to it, with those really tall lobes. It has a really nice neon green venation. that bluish green iridescence. Here's the thing, guys. This one was dying back because it actually had 2 inflorescences that had been pollinated. I don't know if it was self-pollinated. I don't know if it was cross-pollinated, open-pollinated. But when I got the plant, it had 2 inflorescences that had berries on the way. And I was like, so I waited and waited and waited, and the plant, you know, it takes a lot of energy, so the plant was not looking too good. It was looking kind of tired as it was forming those berries. I was like, just hold out a little bit longer, and eventually I was able to harvest those berries. I now have them sprouting in a little to-go container in my grow tent, and we'll see what they turn into. And he has since put out this beautiful leaf right here, and his roots are looking mighty strong. And guys, he's so horny. He's already putting out another inflorescence. He's like, pollinate me again, mother trucker! He's just amazing. I just love that leaf so much. But yeah, those are my plants. These are my success stories. These are plants that were on the brink of death and they came back to life. So let me know in the comments if you have any plants that have recently bounced back from death's door. If you liked this video, then give it a like or subscribe or whatever. And if you didn't, if you thought I was annoying as hell, well then hey, I appreciate you watching the video anyway. Thank you all so much and have a great day. I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye. This has been Jake, also known as Plant Gay for Life. Oh!